I'm never going to take it off, so don't touch me. I'm Austin Moorhead.
I can't even give a lyric after that. That was so epic. I can't even give a goddamn lyric to that. That was great. All right. This week on Give It a Spin, Austin, what are we covering?
We are covering one of the most, and I say this, the most unique albums I have ever listened to coming out of the year 2020. This is I Disagree by Poppy. Poppy,
Yes.
as all of you may have known, was a huge viral internet star for her very weird and almost religious toning messages that she was putting out, very cryptic. And then she started to make almost very poppy, electronically driven music. And then all of a sudden, we get some metal in it. Like,
Some metal in it.
what's some metal in it, lad? Come on. There's so much craziness going on in this album, man. And I say that, and I'll get into this when we dive into the tracks, but there is so much outer layer. I consider this album an onion. You peel it back and you find more unique things and differential tones of styles of genres than just metal that are put into this, that it made my jaw drop. It was like, wow, like, how is a project like this a thing? This album is, I think it's amazing.
I'd like to give credit to Crystal Method on RuPaul's Drag Race. She played Poppy on Snatch Game, and I wasn't sure who Poppy was, and I really liked Crystal Method, so I was like, all right, who was this person? Because I didn't get the character at all, and then I went and looked it up. Crystal, you killed it. That was exactly like Poppy. All right, Austin, let's get into it. There are 10 tracks on this album, so we'll do 1 through 10, and you'll tell us which one is your least favorite to your most favorite.
Correct. Yeah, let's get right into it, man. Like I said, so many differential genres that come in, and number 10 is Nothing I Need.
Okay.
Those that will listen to this track will be reminded almost of a lot of Lana Del Rey and Billie Eilish. Very electronically driven, very dark, essentially. Like, it's a good soft song to have on, a metal album, because every album needs that quote unquote swan song of a little like ballad.
Yeah.
And I would argue that there are multiple of those on here. This one kind of gets lost in the shuffle. It's still good, but I would consider it near the end.
This song sounds like Zach Braff would like it, and by that I mean it would be on the Garden State soundtrack.
Gotcha.
All right, number 9.
Number 9 is essentially another sort of ballad. It breaks off into a little bit of guitar and everything else that comes with it, and that is Sick of the Sun. Essentially just telling a story of a very just dark life. Again, I reference this a lot of a Billie Eilish style. Not as so much of, maybe this one more Lana Del Rey than Billie Eilish, but it's very, very soft, very, almost if you like look into, I haven't like checked out a lot of the lyrics, but like a lot of like cryptic messaging that come in. Like I said, ballads, they're good, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle on a more eccentric, metal-driven album.
I think you're right. I think soft is a great way to describe it. It's very airy, and I think that's probably more Lana Del Rey than Billie Eilish. Billie's really heavy, but yeah. All right, number 8.
Number 8 is the last song off of this album, and that's Don't Go Outside, which I thought that it was interesting that, because I believe Sick of the Sun is before Don't Go Outside on
Yes.
this. Very interesting that those name styles of tracks would be put together. Do you want to know what band I got the style from for this song? Metallica. There's a lot of like, I mean, granted,
new Metallica, maybe.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very almost soft driven. The guitar and the drums drive this song to immense. There's a breakdown of a nice guitar solo.
Yeah.
And it's a nice build up to essentially to close out a nice metal album.
Okay, so I think you can't, in my world, you can't throw around Metallica like just randomly like that. Like Kirk Hammett is one of like the greatest guitar players ever. The sound that he creates from his guitar is so unique, so uniquely his. It'd be like saying like, oh, this sounds like Guns N' Roses because it has a guitar solo. Like that's
You're telling me
little too far for me.
You're telling me you don't feel any Metallica vibes when you're listening to this song right now?
Like I think you're closer to Avenged Sevenfold.
I get it. Something just feels like this sounds like one.
It's too operatic to be Metallica.
Well, that's
Metallica. Like, you know what I mean? That's Metallica. It's just like it's fucking punk level riffs played at metal drop D. Like that's Metallica. This is like grandiose operatic like space metal.
Okay.
So
I get it. I get
Metallica.
I get
watch it.
Sevenfold translation. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Number 7, we're going into Bite Your Own Teeth. Very starts off very powerful. Like
yes. This is Metallica. Dun, 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 dun. That's Metallica.
But yeah, very powerful front that's given in. It's very, like I said, guitar driven. Poppy does a really good job of putting haunting vocals behind very strong instrumentals in this song.
Do you know Mindless Self-Indulgence, Austin?
I do.
MSI vibe for this one for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next song.
Sit/Stay. This is more of the electronic vibes that Poppy originally personified. If you're listening to it, almost sounds like you're going through. I get a lot of, and this one's going to be a little bit of maybe a head scratcher for you, but I get a lot Power Man 5000 vibes from this song.
I don't know Power Man 5000.
They did a song called Bombshell, where it was get up, drop the bombshell, like very metal, enticed with a lot of electronics. Very, very fluent in this. As soon as I started listening to the electronic at the beginning, I said, this sounds like Power Man 5000. Like, this is crazy.
I'm trying to hear the music, but they were playing that Rat State Farm commercial, which makes me laugh every time.
Do you want?
This song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I buy that. I'll buy that for 2 cents. There we go. All right. Next song.
Number 5 comes to us as Anything Like Me, which is the 4th track, I believe, on this album.
Yep.
It's very, very. It seems like it's telling a story from start to finish, and it's very well done. Like, you start off very soft, very elegant, and then about, I don't want to say how many like seconds go into this, but you find out that it's very starting to be almost like a message to the people. Like,
Yeah.
you look up to me, don't be anything like me. Be your own self.
Yeah.
Like, which you might not get that if you're listening to this song because you think it's very like heavy throughout the force and seems very powerful to the point, but it's a message and it's a well-deserved delivered one.
Probably has the most just like genre changes in all of it too. It's just everywhere.
You haven't seen anything yet.
It's everywhere. All right, next.
4 is Blood Money. This
I love this song.
is so good, man. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed all the tracks off of this record, but this one stuck because I watched the music video with it for the first time, and so much is going on in this song that it's unbelievable, from various differences of electronic to almost like I got a lot of like somehow like rap vibes from this,
Okay.
from when she's really getting into it. But in the music video, she's a complete badass. Like, she's fighting off how many people that are just coming at her. Instances of religion and Christianity come into this as well. Very, very crazy, very good, and very eccentric as to what Poppy is.
Mm-hmm. Next song.
Number 3 is Fill the Crown. This is a dark song, man. Like, real dark. And it points out that when Poppy is essentially doing her vocals, you have this very raspy, dark influence that's backing the vocals here with the same like lyrical content. And I took that as the subject of heaven and hell on your shoulders, to where you're trying to fill your own destiny to put the crown on your head.
Sure. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Cool. Top 2 now, right?
Yep. If you're looking for the one with the most genre splits, this is it. Number 2 is Concrete.
Which was on your 30-day challenge.
Yes, for, I believe, a song that you think everyone should listen to.
Right.
Like I said, I covered this in the 30-day thing, but I'll explain it here again. This feels like something you would play for anybody because it has varying styles.
Yeah.
Almost everything. You start off with a very siren-esque horn that you would see bands like Slipknot use, to going into very hard, like you pointed out earlier in the video, like Avenged Sevenfold, Sinister Gates, guitar riffs, to baby metal.
Sounds like the Pop-Tart cat should be singing it. Yummy, yummy, na, 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 na. And then like the rainbow shooting out behind him.
But yeah, like, and you go through this change after that to a almost Beatles-like soft and angelic melody that's playing. I don't know if the Beatles is the right band to
No,
phrase.
I think that's, it's like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Beatles-esque. Absolutely.
Yeah. A song that I would recommend that's outside of this album that you should check out, that's half of it's more Beatles influence, is X. That song, Josh, I encourage you to listen to it. Like,
I'm listening to it right now.
It's very like hardcore, like in guitar, and then immediately breaks into peace.
Yeah.
Like almost like she, like cultish influence.
Absolutely.
That was bringing. Very, very cool. With talking back to Concrete, mostly at the end, man, is where it hits me, because after your second baby metalish chorus, you get a very like wow 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 Queen
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
mostly of that. And then it breaks off in a pop finish.
Hmm.
Where else are you going to find? It's essentially
Four different bands.
yes, it's just
Yeah.
like talking with art. Say Bob Ross takes his paint wheel and then just mixes it all together. Like that's what you're getting.
No, this is this is not a happy enough album for Bob Ross. And then number one, Austin.
Number one, if you had not thought of this, you're a fool. Number one is I Disagree, which is the self-title of this. This is so cool, man. The breakdown of this is so for those that weren't aware of Poppy's influence changes, Poppy and her record label had come to a halt, and they wanted her to play more of your Lana Del Rey, Billie Eilish electronic vibe, where she wanted to break out and try new things. And this song is all about her fighting with management. And it's nuts because in the
Awesome.
music video, she's all around what seems like a board of directors playing her style. They're not getting it. She knocks them all out, some kind of gas or something. And at the end, burns them. Like you see bodies burning in this music video. Like it's crazy. It's essentially telling yourself, nobody's going to tell me what I am. That's not how I'm portrayed. I want to be whatever I want to be. And this song speaks volumes to that, man.
Yeah. No, it's a great song. It's a banger. It's on my saved songs on Spotify. Trent Reznor would be very proud of this song. So, all right, Austin, that wraps up this week's Give It a Spin, right?
I believe so.
Awesome.
We need to grade it, I believe.
Okay. I don't remember if we were grading things. Oh, that's right. What it's something out of 7.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, go first. I want to get your opinion.
So the first half of this album is very metal. It's fast. It's different. It's got a lot of different sounds in it. I really enjoy the first half of the album. And then I think, and it seems that your list kind of reflects that the back half is very like poppy and airy, and it doesn't have the same like catching, attention catching vibe that the first half has. So I'll give it like a 4 out of 7. Like it's still something that like I Disagree, I will play probably for the next 10 years. Like I'll play that song when like on metal playlists and that kind of stuff. But other than like a couple of songs, I don't know that this is like an album that I'm in love with, but I also understand that this music is absolutely new generation, and it's guitars and drums and rock and roll, which is so important right now.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna say 4 out of 7. Eye bleeding white girls in makeup.
Cool. So I see what you're saying on it. I do appreciate the differential tones and styles that incorporate the last half of this album.
Sure.
Whether you don't think it's Metallica or not, that's fine. The point is that it resonated with me, that it seems to me like a Metallica vibe. And then, of course, you have all your different other genres and bands and artists that I believe are a huge influence on Poppy's new direction and where she's going. This is 5.5 shining lights in the dark.
Wow. Okay. It's up there.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's not much else I can say. If you, I used to say this when I talked about like the post-hardcore genre and everything. If you guys are looking for something new and not as much like generic, please give this album a listen to. I've listened to it over how many times, and I get new spins, so to speak, on the different takes of these tracks and their meanings and their styles. It's fantastic.
All right, so that concludes this week's Give It a Spin. Next week, we'll be back with Closure in Moscow's Pink Lemonade, their 2014 release. If you don't know, Austin, I think you're going to dig Closure in Moscow. So
I like it already. I've heard a few songs, so I'm very appreciative of this.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody.